Yeah, this film was really interesting because I have taken a long distance bike tour as well. And I went from San Diego to New Orleans, and it took me 50 days, and I think it was about 1,500 miles. And it was a solo tour from did I say San Diego to New Orleans, and it followed the Southern Tier, which is a route that goes close to the border of Mexico. And there were I had amazingly great experiences, and I would say there was basically a miracle that happened every day. But there were some other experiences that were a little sketchy, that I thought could possibly be scary. But when you push through that, then it turned out to be an amazing experience after all. And one place that I stayed through this group called Warm Showers, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. I stayed with someone through this organization, and it was a pretty rough time, because the person was quite a hoarder and was into graphic journals, and there were piles and piles of graphic journals everywhere. And it wasn't that he was very scary, but the place was pretty run down, and it was in the middle of nowhere, and he was just an interesting odd fellow. So that was a bit scary, and I thought it for a second, about writing an article, a review of the place, so that other people who might read it might decide not to go there. But then I started thinking that, well, I survived this, and I've learned something, which is, how people that are different from me live. And so that was really important, and it gave me something really worthwhile. And so it made me not want to write that review. It made me want other people to experience as well, and I think enjoy it in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you mentioned that the reason for taking this tour is you were trying to understand. Can you comment about that?
I mean, it was the same kind of story that he had, which was that it was 2018, and it was 2 years after Trump had become president. And so I was so upset with all that was happening, and it kept going. And so I wanted to know what this country was made of that made people vote in that way. And so I wanted to answer that question. And it wasn't that question in the end that my story turned out to be, but that was what set me off on my journey.
And what did you experience with regard to the people you met?
Everyone was amazingly kind. It was just the kindness of people, and that no matter what their politics may or may not have been, the people themselves are, I think that people are basically very kind and good.
Mm-hmm.
So
would you say that was one of the insights that you got from your travel?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Because just time after time, so many amazing things happened.
And then you've carried it forward for yourself now?
Yeah. Well, and before and after the trip, I've also participated in this organization called Warm Showers, and it's a website that puts together people who are bike touring with people who are willing to host. And so for me, that kind of keeps the buzz going, the feeling of touring and remembering and talking, just remembering and talking about stories.
And you've had quite a diverse group of people that you've put up.
Yes, amazing people. So the people themselves that have stayed at my house have been extraordinary. There was one guy that came here to pick up his bike Friday, and then he was riding to Patagonia. And then just recently I had a young guy from France who was living in Quebec, and came to Eugene, and then from Eugene he was riding down to Brazil, and he stayed with me a night or two or so, and he was an extraordinary chef, so we stayed up till wee hours of the night cooking amazing stuff.
Oh, wow.
And so that often happens, actually, is good food is involved with
And that's Warm Showers.
warmshowers.org.
.org.
Yes.
Okay, not .com.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh,
This is
sure, yeah.
really special to have someone who's actually had similar experiences to what was in the film.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it was a great film. So thank you for
Thank
hosting
you.
it.
Good night.
Okay.